So, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. We're talking about Kamala Harris here, okay? And I think it's now very clear because there was a big question mark about whether or not all the Democratic establishment leadership would rally around her. And I think, unless something happens here in Chicago, all the leadership, or either at those in key positions, have more or less publicly said that they are in full support of Kamala Harris. As we recently pointed out, Chucky Boy Schumer did a pathetic please clap moment. Hakeem Jeffries did as well, because they were some unknowns early on. And now, as it stands, even Barack Obama himself, the Obamas, have called in to give her support. And also, of course, Kamala Harris recently met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, to which obviously she said that Israel has a right to defend itself. So I think it's safe to say she's going to get the crown. Kamala Harris. What qualifies her to be president of the United States? I mean, at this point, we are really scraping at the bottom of the barrel. It's no longer two old men fighting for over a cold bowl of soup. We've got somebody who went from the bottom all the way up, no pun intended, to a orange Cheeto. Wonderful. So let's go ahead and first pull up this video here. Now, the thing is, I want to have democracy in the chat. How authentic or genuine do you think this phone call is between Kamala and the Obamas? Type 1 for Kit. This was a spur of the moment kind of thing, and it was caught, and it was a moment in history. Or type 2, man, this is as fake as it can get. There are plot lines from ECW and WCW and WWF that make more sense than what we saw here. So let's go ahead and first pull up this video here. I wonder how many twos we'll get in the chat. I wonder.
Kamala.
Hello.
Kamala.
Hi.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. You're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
I can't have this phone call without saying to my girl Kamala, I am proud of you.
Wow, how crystal clear that phone call is.
This is going to be historic.
We called to say Michelle and I couldn't be prouder to endorse you and to do everything we can to get you through this election and into the Oval Office.
Oh, my goodness. Michelle, Brock, this means so much to me.
Oh, God.
I'm looking forward to doing this with the two of you, Doug and I both, and getting out there, being on the road. But most of all, I just want to tell you the words you have spoken and the friendship that you have given over all these years mean more than I can express. So thank you both. It means so much. And we're going to have some fun with this too, aren't we?
Kamala.
Hello.
Okay, hold on. We're not going to sit through that again. We're not going to sit through that again. Sorry. I'm sorry. I did not mean to expose you guys to that violence, but my goodness. I think of all that, yeah, Cat, that's pretty much it. It's as violent as it can get. It is disgusting as it can get because that's fake as hell. And we've seen this kind of manufactured support and, well, propaganda before. We've seen the Democrats do this all the time. And right now, what the Democrats are trying to do, and I've seen this tactic as well, especially with people like Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or any other establishment Democrat, and that is extend the honeymoon phase as long as possible. See, right now, a lot of liberals and corporate media are in a honeymoon phase for Kamala Harris because her record, especially being vice president for 3.5 years, is not impressive at all. It's mediocre, it's worthless, and it's pointless. And so what the Democrats are trying to do is get all the big name brand people. I still get text messages. I'm still getting text messages. I actually messaged Daniel the other day, the co-founder of Hard Lens Media as well. And I asked him, hey, are you getting a lot of messages from the Democrats? And he says, yes. Exactly the same way, too. Same ones I'm getting. Like, wow, George Clooney's all the way for Kamala. Look at this. Hakeem Jeffries and Chucky Boy Schumer all for Kamala. Everybody's so excited for Kamala. Are you going to help Kamala? And they're trying to bring anybody who's anybody. Hollywood elite, businessmen, tycoons, those in the top 1%, and Democratic leaders, because they want people to be surprised that all these heavy hitters are around Kamala to make her look like something that she's not. But the thing is, like any other neoliberal politician, Kamala knows what to say. Kamala knows what to say. First. Let's, like any other politician, she knows how to speak out of both sides of her mouth. Here we go.
What has happened in Gaza over the past 9 months is devastating. The images of dead children and desperate, hungry people fleeing for safety, sometimes displaced for the second, third, or fourth time.
Mm-hmm. Do you think she's being authentic there? Probably not.
We cannot look away in the face of these tragedies. We cannot allow ourselves to become numb to the suffering, and I will not be silent. What has
Now, the thing is, notice at the bottom, Israel has a right to defend itself, because why else would she not be anointed unless she was able to say the key word?
So I just had a frank and constructive meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu. I told him that I will always ensure that Israel is able to defend itself, including from Iran and Iran-backed militias such as Hamas and Hezbollah. From when I was a young girl, collecting funds to plant trees for Israel, to my time in the United States Senate and now at the White House, I have had an unwavering commitment to the existence of the State of Israel, to its security, and to the people of Israel. I've said it many times, but it bears repeating. Israel has a right to defend itself.
So, yes, she won't be silent. She won't be silent, but she will be quiet and numb, just like how all of the Democratic politicians have been, just like how all of corporate media has been. They're all being silent. They're all being silent. They're all going to be dismissive about it because Kamala, like any other politician in Washington, D.C., has an AIPAC babysitter, and the king of the babysitters himself, Netanyahu, went knocking on Kamala's door and said, "Hey, here's the script. Do you know what to say?" And she was like, "Yes, I do," laughing like how she always does. Is this the best you could do, Democrats? Like, again, I don't know how this election will turn out. I mean, you made a very bold move in getting rid of old man Biden, and now you have to sell Kamala. You have August, September, and October. Seriously, good luck. I don't know how long I'm going to be extending this honeymoon phase, but I give you to the end of this month until voters see who she truly is.
And how it does so matters. Hamas is a brutal terrorist organization. On October 7, Hamas triggered this war when it massacred 1,200 innocent people, including 44 Americans. Hamas has committed horrific acts of sexual violence and took 250 hostages. There are American citizens who remain captive in Gaza. Sagi Deko Hen, Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, Idan Alexander, Keith Siegel, Omer Nutra, and the remains of American citizens Judy Weinstein, Gad Haggai, and Itai Hen are still being held in Gaza. I have met with the families of these American hostages multiple times now, and I've told them each time they are not alone, and I stand with them. And President Biden and I are working every day to bring them home.
How great. Bring them home. But you're still going to turn a blind eye to what Israel's doing. I mean, you're not going to halt the shipments of weapons. She's not going to do that. And yet, what we're seeing here is someone being anointed, because now corporate media is trying to pump her up and show us, at least from this perspective, that she is somewhat relatable, that she is somebody who can get the job done. But the thing is, corporate media, you have a problem, and that is Kamala's record. Now, many would say, wow, how absolutely brave Kamala has been. Look at that statement there. She's very, very presidential. How could she be presidential when there's a track record of her not doing her job?
"Quote unquote border czar." Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
See, Again, corporate media, Democratic establishment. The internet is going to be doing its digging. The internet's going to be a bunch of snoops, because I remember when you guys did say she was a border czar, and so does my entire audience.
Time Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
So, what does that tell you about her track record, her work ethic, her ability to be president? Last I checked, early on during these 3.5 years of the Biden-Harris administration, she was the border czar. That's not fake news, corporate media. CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News. All of you need to, do a little rewind time and look back at what you posted on. Now, I know Fox News will definitely be harping on that, of course. But CBS, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, you said one thing, and now you're saying something completely different. Why? Because they got their marching orders from the establishment. Folks, this is how the establishment operates. You have seen this before, and we're seeing it in real time. This time, there's no Bernie Sanders scapegoat. There's no well, they are going to use Trump derangement syndrome. But the thing is, what you're seeing here is this attempt by the Democratic establishment and corporate media and all these celebrities to present Kamala into something that she is not. They're trying to rewrite history and trick all of you. They don't respect you. All the Democrat establishment and the vote blue, no matter who sycophants, think all of you are too stupid to dig even further into Kamala's past and what she has failed to do and some of their previous failures. So this is all manufactured. That Obama phone call, getting the endorsement from Chucky Boy Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and all these celebrities. This is all manufactured to try and maintain the lie that is the Hollywood feeling, the honeymoon feeling, correction. Oh, well, we might as well call it the Hollywood honeymoon feeling for Kamala, because so many voters, especially in the liberal crowd, are triggered by Donald Trump because they want everyone to be impressed with her work, and they want to bury everything that was ever said about Kamala. They want to make another lie. But what have I said about lies? About when you make them. You could tell a really good lie, but all lies do fall apart. Some can stand for a while, but they all do break. And to quote the great Cat Williams, prophet of this year for 2024, all lies will be revealed. All of them shall be revealed. Democrats, corporate media, you are presenting false information, because now MSNBC and CNN and all of you could say this and watch how many liberals, some diehard vote blue no matter who, triggered people who are afraid of Donald Trump, will dismiss facts right before them. We are dealing with unserious people. We are dealing with people who cannot do simple mathematics. We are dealing with people who cannot emotionally face their own personal traumas, because right now everyone's so hinged on this election cycle, and they're presenting Kamala into this false hero. She isn't. Now, in my opinion, and again, we could see how this all plays out in the convention in Chicago, but with getting all the establishment support now from some of the key players, it is clear that Kamala could very well be the nominee, could very well secure it. Now, anything can happen between now and then, especially when we get to the DNC convention in Chicago, but this is just another example of how the media lies to you, lies to all of us. But yet, here's one thing I want to tell young voters. We millennials, hell, Gen Xers, and even boomers We learned that lesson. And Gen Z, you're going to have to teach that lesson to the next generation coming after you. All of us. Because what in God's name? Young voters tell Kamala Harris, fight for our future. Do you think this person cares about your future? Do you think any of these politicians serving in Washington, D.C. care about our future? You think any one of them really care about what's happening to the people of Gaza? They're still going to send those weapons there. They're still going to do it. Let's hear how they want. Again, 4 youth-led groups on Thursday urged Vice President Kamala Harris, the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, to fight for our future. You have to fight for it. I'm so sorry. You're on your own. By pursuing policy agenda, the coalition unveiled in March letter to U.S. President Joe Biden. It's been less than a week since Biden left the race and endorsed Harris, who is expected to face former Republican Donald Trump and his running mate, U.S. Senator J.D. Vance, Republican from Ohio, in the November election. Since then, she's racked up endorsements from Democratic members of Congress, progressive groups focused on issues including climate change, labor, and reproductive rights. Okay, fine. To these youth groups. In Chicago, I want to make it very clear to all of you that the police and the city of Chicago are preventing protesters and activists, reproductive right groups, anti-war groups, climate change groups, people calling for real change. They're going to be out of sight, out of mind. Now, if they show up at the front door of the DNC convention, wow, that'd be great, but I don't think that's going to happen. So already, right off the bat, you guys are being dismissed. March for Our Lives, which launched after the 2018 mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, honored Harris was the group's first ever endorsement on Wednesday, calling her the right person to stand up for us and fight for the country we deserve. Don't be stupid. And I hope a lot of young people aren't falling for this, but my goodness, this is absolute failure. The Gun Violence Prevention Organization is part of a youth-led coalition behind a new letter, which includes the climate-focused Sunrise Movement, Gen Z for Change, which advocates on a range of issues, and the National Immigrant Network United We Dream Action. She was the border czar. She was telling people, do not come. Do not come. You have an urgent and important task. To defeat Trump. You must rebuild support and enthusiasm among young voters. Be a double hater, young people. Come on. Listen, it's okay to hate the Democrats, and it's really okay to hate the Republicans. It's fine. It's fine. Break away from the two-party system. You could be a double hater. You'll be free. The coalition told this to Harris, noting that she sought the Democratic nomination during the last cycle. You should build on your 20. Oh, no. Oh, God. I'm not reading this right. Hold on. God almighty, no. Come on, young people. This letter doesn't have it in there, do they? You should build on your 2020 campaign platform where you put forward a strong vision to make the economy work for everyday people and ensure a livable future for us all. What? Hold. Pause. I got to steal this from Abba and Preach. Pause. Yo, pause. Her 2020 campaign? Listen, whoever was a big brain genius who wrote that letter, let me let you on a little hint. Her 2020 campaign went broke. It went belly up, okay? She got broke. She didn't make it to the first primary vote. She didn't make it there across the finish line. And you're seriously going to write that letter? Oh, you should build on your 2020 campaign platform? When she said she was for Medicare for all, she flip-flopped. When she said she was for student debt forgiveness, she flip-flopped. All these progressive issues, she didn't mean it. She just said it and then flip-flopped. And, oh, wait, when she confronted Biden, she said it was a debate. She got destroyed twice by Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, my God. Okay, well, all right. If no one's going to learn through the ears, they're going to learn through the skin. Why not? Because people are that stupid. The groups urge Harris to support the Green New Deal, Medicare for all, and reverse the Mass Incarceration Act. Never ask Kamala Harris her time as Attorney General in the great state of California. They pushed her to expand pathways to citizenship, keep families together, end fossil fuel subsidies, and create good union jobs. Oh, how special. They also called on her to prioritize gun violence prevention and investments in public health solutions and green and affordable housing. You foolish children. Oh, God. I don't make me be a bad guy here. I don't want to be a villain. This is not okay. Well, hey, listen. We started Hard Lens Media in 2017, and all these activist groups and social justice groups. I remember all of you talking a big game between 2016 and 2020. When Trump was president, right? As soon as Biden got in, a lot of you jag-off bastards, all you suckers showed me shite. And now here you are again. This time, newer, younger people coming in. So to all the young people who think that Kamala Harris is going to listen to you, or the Democrats are going to listen to you in the off chance you should win the election, or either that she's going to carry your message on the campaign trail or even listen to you. I've seen this before, and I've seen people like you before. Trump isn't the end-all, be-all threat. It's when you vote for the lesser of two evils, evil continues on. How many times have the Democrats followed through on their promises? I'll let you on a hint. It's a whopping 0. And Kamala Harris will do the same, just like how Obama and Biden, Bill Clinton, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and everybody else, they never follow through. What makes you think Kamala will do the same? But hey, Obama gave her a phone call and an endorsement. How is this special again?